I think I'm live. I don't know. Let me check my feed. Yep, there we go. Now we're live. Hello, everyone. Happy hump day. Is it Wednesday? Yeah, because I did garbage. Yeah, I did garbage. So, hello, happy Wednesday, everyone. I am super excited to start this series with you. You know how I am about vocabulary, mindset, self development, and just really kind of stepping into your own personal power. And so I'm going to start a series this month because of the essential oil. Oh, I don't have it up here. There it is. Stop self-sabotage. Yes, I'll talk about the oil, but I also want to take you on a journey on how to stop this behavior. It's bad behavior. It's bad mental training, behavior, programming, and we are going to get into how to stop this. Hey, Lori, good to see you, my beautiful maverick friend. Um, and so, first off, my name is Tina Heuermann. I'm a mindset coach, published author, network marketing professional in the health and wellness industry. And I'm so excited for this series and so excited for month. This essential oil is truly one of my favorites. And we're going to dive deep into that tomorrow on the Detox Divas call. I have tagged that event. Please hit going so I can kind of judge. I have a feeling this call is going to be massive attendance. So I want to see if I have to pay Zoom to kind of upgrade my attendance a little bit. Hello, Samantha. So again, I am so excited to be here with you to discuss this topic that really affects all of us in some way. No matter how confident somebody feels or appears online, there's always going to be that little voice on the backside that's saying all kinds of bad things to us. So let's dive into what self-sabotage is. And I think I've got a 10-part series that I will be bringing to you, as well as some amazing classes that you can get registered for with this. And that's one of the things too. I need to add this description. Make sure you subscribe to www.iroseoils.com to be kept up to date on the essential oils of the month, as well as others that I carry, and self-sabotage classes that I will be hosting this month. So super excited to bring some of these speakers to you. Some of them you've seen before. Some of them are brand new that I want to bring in and just help you start that journey of rewiring your brain. So let's start in what is self-sabotage. Drop it in the comments if you think you have an idea. I'm sure you do. I'm sure that you experience some of it yourself. But simply put, self-sabotage refers to behaviors or thought patterns that kind of undermine our own success and well-being. Some people stay stuck in the muck, is what I like to say, because they won't allow the good positive energy and positive thoughts, self-celebration. Like, it's so important to celebrate your wins so that you can be proud of who you are, how far you've come, what you're doing. Always expecting to fail, Lori says. Absolutely, that is part of it. My husband is actually like that. Anytime something goes wrong, should have known. Things like this always happen to me. And I'm like, dude, you cannot put that curse on me. And if you think about the word spelling, right? Our words, we spell words. What is a spell? When you cast that sort of vocabulary over you, you're basically casting a spell and reinforcing that negative programming, which we don't want, right? We don't want to feel that way. But sometimes we just get stuck in that mindset where that's really our thought pattern. Like, we're hardwired like a computer that way. And so those thought patterns are viruses that we are going to attempt to remove this month, or at least start the healing process of full body healing so that you can just be such the divine, beautiful person that you are. So it's like having, like I said, that internal conflict of where our conscious desires are at odds with our subconscious fears and beliefs. And many of us have experienced moments where we set goals, but somehow manage to trip ourselves up before we even reach them. And that's a classic example of self-sabotage. And the reasons for that in those behaviors, some of those behaviors can be procrastination. That is an area that I'm working to improve. Perfectionism, not an area I've had much trouble overcoming or have ever dealt with. Negative self talk. I do that sometimes still with all my personal growth and development. I still have moments where they don't want to hear from you. They didn't accept you. They're not supporting you. I have that kind of stuff, and it's like, stop. Like, I just felt that, like, right here in my throat and in my heart. It's like, get out of there. I don't even want you to be anywhere near part of me or my thought process. Avoidance of responsibility and engaging in unhealthy habits. So procrastination, for instance, might show up in delaying important tasks until the last minute Lucy. And that leads to unnecessary stress as well as subpar results. Perfectionism can be equally detrimental, causing us to set unrealistic standards and then berate ourselves when we fall short of that. So there's kind of two polar opposites. Perfectionism, I mean, there's a whole lot to unpack just in that one on why someone is a perfectionist. And even with the procrastination, there's a whole lot you can unpack with that also. But the psychology behind self-sabotage is pretty complex, and it's often rooted in our early experiences as a child. Underlying causes might be a fear of failure, low self-esteem, negative childhood experiences, internalized criticism, and cognitive dissonance. I know for me, growing up, there were many, many years where I didn't feel loved or valued and was not, I felt overlooked. I felt kind of like an outsider at times. And, some of that can rear its head today and still trigger me. And I just kind of work on I just visualize that. What's that look like? That looks like stringy spaghetti. I'm just going to pull that out of there because that serves me no purpose. But these deep-seated issues can create a powerful barrier for your success and happiness. And I don't want that for you. I want you to wave that magic wand, have that dream life. But in our professional lives, self-sabotage might look like procrastination on crucial tasks. For me, it's paying taxes, or not paying taxes, just filling it out. But setting goals that are unattainable, avoiding opportunities for advancement, or struggling with time management. I think time management would be my biggest one out of that. Let me know in the comments what your biggest one is. It setting goals that are unattainable? That right there is a mindset thing. Avoiding opportunities for advancement. I posted in our accountability group the other day something about, do you fear success? People actually do fear success for a variety of reasons. Maybe it stems from a childhood issue. Maybe your parents were very, very successful and never had time for you because they were always at work, always on the go, always doing something for business. And you were like, hey, I need some time, I need some love. And so because of that, you have this feeling of, I don't want to be successful because I'll be a bad parent. Makes sense? Hi, Eve. Hi, Lori. Or Lori, I already said hi to you. I was going to read your comment. I'm like that with my college courses. If I don't get an A, I beat myself up. Yep, a lot of people are like that. A lot of people are like that. So imagine someone who continually misses deadlines because they wait until the last minute to start a project. This procrastination is often driven by fear of not doing the job perfectly or fear of being judged. That is a big thing. Mine wouldn't be either one of those. Mine would be fear of not completing the project. One of the things that I work on all the time is completing projects and not giving up before they're complete. And so sometimes I will avoid starting a project, even starting a book sometimes, because I'm afraid I won't complete it. Isn't that just silly? So like, why even, it's just silly how we face that sometimes and how that plays a role in our daily activities. So how does self-sabotage affect relationships? It can manifest in a variety of different ways. Some might push away loved ones and engage in constant conflict, have difficulty trusting others, or sabotage healthy relationships with jealousy and insecurity. I've seen that a lot in my life of all those different things. I know people who have lost a lot of people that they love to different circumstances, and they're afraid to love and put themselves out there because they're afraid to lose anyone else. So it's a safety mechanism that our mind actually puts up to prevent us from feeling that loss again. And so let's say you have a fear of success, like we just talked about, and you have all of these emotions tied to abandonment feelings you may have felt as a child. And so you want to have that success so badly, but subconsciously your mind is going to put these roadblocks up to where it can't move forward to get you to that success unless you deal with the issues that you had and release those and don't let the feelings have control. Am I making sense with that? We sometimes face so much emotion as children, and when we get older it affects us. Absolutely, Samantha. But so this self-sabotage is in action, driven by past experiences, past insecurities, and that feeling of, am I enough? And so rather than taking the chance of starting something and not finishing it, you're just going to not do it because you don't want to reinforce that I'm not enough feeling. So when it comes to health and wellness, self-sabotage can take the form of negative self-care, engaging in unhealthy eating, lifestyle habits, avoiding exercise, or ignoring medical advice. I don't know how many years I drank. And I knew that was a self-sabotaging behavior. I knew that behavior was keeping me from getting to my next step in my career path. But I knew that I had to give that up to get there. But was I willing to trade the fact that if I stopped drinking, I would have to feel the pain of the losses that I've had? Was my goals, my ambition, and my drive for what I want in my career big enough that I was ready to face those fears again? I'm telling you what, that was hard. That was hard, but I am so incredibly grateful for that. I'm grateful for the journey of that because I get to speak on that and talk to people and have those conversations. You are worthy, you are enough, and it doesn't matter what happened then. Let's deal with it, process it, pack it away, and don't open that box again. Because every time you peek in there, those emotions are going to come out and start. Your brain has that memory, right? Brain has a memory. And so every time you reinforce those negative self-talk, negative beliefs, and things that you experienced as a child, you're stuck. You don't get to go forward until you deal with that, unpack it, and let it go. Okay? So let's talk about a few case studies. So let's talk about Jane. Jane struggles with procrastination at work, and Jane has missed several promotions because she constantly delays starting important projects. Her fear of failure paralyzes her, leading her to procrastinate, which in turn results in missed opportunities and heightened stress. Stress is a huge issue inside the body. It is an energetic transformation at the cellular level that can bring on diseases. And so when you're feeling that stress, that's an energy that's taking place in your cells that if you don't release that, it's going to make you sick. Okay, now let's talk about John. John has severe trust issues in relationships for various reasons. His past experiences have left him insecure, and he often engages in arguments and pushes his partner away. Despite his desire for a healthy relationship, his inability to trust leads to self-sabotaging behaviors when it comes to relationships. I remember when my husband and I were first dating. We had such a great day. It was when the river boats first came to Iowa. And I had organized this day-long trip for him and all of his friends and girlfriends, all the spouses, all these people that we hung out with. Rented a motor coach. Everybody paid a certain amount. The motor coach took us to the boat, which is 2.5, 3 hours away, and brought us home. Now it was a day drinking event. We had a great time, went to the boat, got to sightsee a little bit. We stopped at the outlet malls, did some shopping, and it was just a fantastic day. I was so proud to have been able to put this together, have all of his friends have such a great day. I'm still new in the relationship. And so I wanted to make sure that I was accepted by his crowd because he was important enough for me to make that extra effort to be a part of his crowd. So we get home from the boat and he looks at me and tells me that he wants to see other people. I'm like, get out of my house. We had had such a good day. The fear of that relationship not working out scared the crap out of him. And so Todd broke up with me to avoid any pain that would come for him loving me more than he did in that moment. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just crazy how our mind tries to protect us from having to feel those feelings again? So let's talk about Sarah. Sarah neglects her health, okay? She has a negative self-image from whatever reason, and often turns to unhealthy eating and sedentary. She just sits around all day, eats really bad food, high sugar, high fat, processed foods, all those really bad things. And despite knowing the benefits of proper nutrition and exercise, her self-sabotaging behaviors prevent her from making positive changes. She gets stressed. She grabs cookies. She eats the cookies to try to tame that stress, rather than working through it and processing it and getting it out so it no longer affects her. And the more you repeat those behaviors, the stronger they become because you're feeding that self-sabotaging behavior. At the same time, you're feeding yourself. Make sense? So these highlight the huge effects that self-sabotaging behavior can have on our lives, from personal and professional growth to strained relationships, our physical, mental, sleep, health, everything. And the consequences reach so much farther than that. They can just decrease in overall life satisfaction, leading into depression. So one of the things about this cycle it creates is there's a triggering event followed by a negative thought pattern, self-sabotaging behavior, and short-term relief from long-term consequences. Self-sabotaging behavior is short-term relief on long-term consequences. This cycle reinforces the negative beliefs and makes it so challenging to break free. So how do you break free? Because we don't want this. Hi, Jessica. Oh, Lori, I'm so glad you did need to hear that. I hope you'll follow this series I'm going to have going on this month with the speakers and stuff. So how do we break free? First, you have to recognize and acknowledge the behavior. It took me a long time to acknowledge the fact that my drinking was robotic. Now, you will never hear me say that I'm an alcoholic or was an alcoholic, because I'm not staying attached to that negative thought pattern that I had. I had a relationship with drinking that caused robotic behavior. So let's go back to Jane. Once Jane heals, she will not say, I have an eating disorder. I have to be very careful. I used to have a very poor relationship with eating until I started healing. Do you see how much more power is in that versus, hi, I'm Tina, I'm an alcoholic. Hi, I'm Tina, I used to have a bad relationship with alcohol. Which one sounds better? It's a mindset thing. It's how you speak to yourself. It's how you get through that. Jessica, online shopping, that's a great example, especially with Amazon being so convenient. I remember Cole would, he didn't drink often, but sometimes when he did, he would get on Amazon and 2-3 days later, he'd start having packages show up at his house. I'd crack up when he would tell me that. So first, we are aware of that behavior. Several of you have shared what you're aware of in the comments. And if you're catching this on replay, follow along. Put what you're aware of is your self-sabotaging behavior in the comments if you feel comfortable. Next, we want to identify the underlying fear and belief that are driving these behaviors. Is rewarding yourself with shopping. What is that feeling? Do you have a, what's the word I'm looking for? A mindset lack. I had the word earlier. It's been with me these past couple days, so I must have been meaning to bring it up. Scarcity. That's the word. Is it a scarcity mindset? Do you hoard? Do you, if there are 3 cookies left in the cookie package, do you not eat them because you don't want them to run out? Do you carry a $20 bill in your billfold because you know that you're not going to break it? You don't want to break that 20 because you don't get 20s very often, or 100, whatever that dollar bill is. And so you hold on to that because it's a scarcity type of mindset and self-sabotaging behavior. But once you understand this root cause, you can then challenge and reframe that negative thought. So how do you do this? Well, mindfulness, meditation, listening to things that are positive environment. In our accountability group challenge the other day, they were talking about murder shows and, the monster next door and all of these different shows where they capture murderers and things like that. And I was like, guys, don't watch that or listen to that before you go to bed, because when you go to bed is when your subconscious mind is most powerful. And so saying affirmations before bed, playing soothing music with positive gratitude as you go to sleep, those types of things are going to feed that subconscious mind healthy stuff. And so if you think of an athlete, let's take Jane again, right? She had that eating disorder. She's stuffing her face with Oreos because she had a traumatic experience as a child. And so to make herself look as unattractive as she feels, she wants to be unattractive. She doesn't want to be seen. She wants to hide. She wants to cower. And so she eats this food. An athlete, now Jane wants to be an athlete. What's she going to do? We're going to start feeding that body all of these positive things, words, people, experiences, being outside, using these essential oil to stop that behavior. We're going to do positive affirmations and counteract the negative self-talk. I was talking to my friend Chris the other day, and she was so excited. We were talking. I was firing her up. She's one of my coaching clients, and she said, I hope to write a book someday. I'm like, oh, I don't ever want to hear that come out of your mouth again. I am writing my book. Is so much more powerful coming out energetically than saying I hope to write a book someday. And so it's changing that self-talk that you say, the things that you do. Don't ever say I can't, I won't, I don't know how, it's too hard. It's like, I did not know how to do network marketing when I first came in. I just did it. I didn't care if I messed up. I didn't care if I looked like a fool. I just knew that this was a path out of being a daycare provider for 16 years that I didn't want to do anymore. It had become something that I didn't enjoy. My daughter was going to school. College, her senior year. And I was going to miss so much more of her life because I was stuck at home 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year for 16 years. Network marketing gave me that ability to build an income to get me out of daycare. We're going to set realistic and achievable goals that can provide a clear path forward. We're going to talk about this in that series. We're going to do cognitive behavior techniques that can reframe our thinking. Starts with the vocabulary and the things that you say. We are going to talk about the Seasons of Success oil, especially the Stop Self-Sabotage. So I hope you follow that link and hit going for the call tomorrow night. Actually, Jess, that's close. I am a six-figure earner. You don't have to say yet. You are a six-figure earner. Your checkbook just doesn't match it yet, and you don't even have to throw that in. I'm a six-figure earner. Yet means it's still off in the future, right? And so we're trying to think as if we've already got it. We've already made it. When I was going to speak on Ray Higdon's stage, before Ray Higdon or any of Rank Makers even knew that I was going to speak on that stage, my vocabulary to myself, I'm a speaker for Ray Higdon. I didn't know if I was going to even be asked or anything, but I visualized it. Like, I am a speaker. I visualized what I was going to wear, who was going to be in the crowd, the front row, the TV monitors, what it was going to be like when I walked out of there, or I came back into the crowd and people like, hey, weren't you just up on stage? Can I get your autograph? Like, all of that happened. What it was going to be like, that were going to be people calling, coming up to me afterwards. Do you have some time? I think I have a drinking problem and I'd like to talk to you about it. Happened several times after I spoke about that at Faith Over Fear. And then additionally, there are, support from others, friends, family, therapists can help provide the encouragement and the accountability to break free from that. But start by writing down your affirmations. Write down your goals in present tense as if you already have them. I am a chicken tender. That's what they call chicken mamas, chicken tenders. Isn't that funny? They tend chickens. I am a I own a horse. I am a seven-figure earner. I am an international speaker. And start living in the energy and frequency of what that feels like to you. So let's try a little exercise. Take a moment to think about a recent instance where you feel you may have sabotaged yourself and stopped your progress. I want you to write them down and consider the patterns and triggers involved in that. What led you to that? What fear came up? How did that fear? When in your life did you first feel that? Okay, that's taken you back. When was the first time you felt you weren't enough? When was the first time you felt you wanted to hide? You didn't want to be seen? When was the first time you felt like you had to do it perfectly or it wasn't good enough? And then you practice the self-compassion to that person as you, and allow you to be kinder to yourself and more forgiving of your mistakes. And setting realistic goals helps you avoid the pitfalls of perfection. Like I tell my team all the time, how many people are you going to reach out to every day and ask if they're interested in the business or the opportunity? Oh, I'm going to do 50 a day. Okay, so let's just consider this. You wake up Saturday morning, you go out, it's 75 degrees out, absolutely beautiful. You go hiking all day, you come home, you do the yard work, or you flip-flop that. You come home at the end of the day, you get dinner done, and you're just exhausted. You don't have any energy left for anything else, but you promised yourself you were going to reach out to 50 people a day. You can do that? Probably not. Probably not. You are going to give that up, and then the next day, what are you going to do? You're going to beat yourself up because you didn't do your work. Now, let's say you had that beautiful busy day, that beautiful Saturday, all the yard work's done, you've meal prepped and started the dinner for Sunday and the week ahead. You went hiking, you come home, you cook dinner, you're totally exhausted. And you remember, oh, I promised myself I'd reach out to 5 people today. Can you do it? Probably. Now, on days when you can do 50, don't let that 5 stop you. Keep going. But set that realistic goal of what you can do in your life every single day to move yourself forward to the lifestyle and relationships that you do deserve. And then surround yourself with supportive people who provide a positive environment that fosters your mental and physical growth. And regular physical activity, balanced nutrition, adequate rest, pursuing hobbies and interests. Like, my husband's like, you work all the time. I'm like, this is not work. If I were sitting here in my recliner and I was knitting an Afghan because I love to knit Afghans, nobody would question me. I love what I do so much, I can equate it to somebody that makes beautiful garments like my friend Tracy when she's knitting. Whatever that hobby, that passion is, network marketing is my passion. And the more you get rid of those negative thought processes that are going on in your brain, the more you're going to start seeing the joy surrounding the hobby and passion that you have. So remember, I'm going to wrap this up. Overcoming self-sabotage is a journey. You don't just rewire in one day that negative thought process that you've spent your entire life making sure that it's a hard drive. Okay? We're going to be removing that virus a little bit at a time. So for those interested in further reading and resources, I have got a couple great opportunities coming up. For those of you that have been with me for a while, you remember Jenny Potter. She's the author of Self-Sabotage No More. It's an excellent book that gives you similar tapping techniques to overcome that self-sabotaging behavior. I have Shane Sweeney coming up. He is my hypnotist. And we will be doing a private Zoom session with Dr. Shane Sweeney and doing a hypnosis session to remove some of those limiting beliefs from you. Network marketing. I mean, if you don't have a network marketing team or leader or business in your side income, you're missing the boat. It's a personal development course with a paycheck. You get to have healthy products. And it doesn't have to be me if health and wellness or essential oils is not your passion. Find something you love. Do you love to do makeup? Let me know. I know somebody that's got a great makeup line. Do you like to have pretty nails and you don't want the harsh chemicals on there? I know people that have that type of industry. I mean, there's a network marketing industry for absolutely everything. And if I can connect you with the right coach and the right sponsor, you're going to grow through some of those negative beliefs because they're going to push you outside of your comfort zone. And that's where the growth happens. There are several books and articles that I will be sharing along this journey of stop self-sabotage no more. And of course, get the oil. This oil, and you get Copaiba. I never can say it right, so I'm going to say it like that. With this for $30. It's an excellent investment suit for yourself. This comes with a daily intention. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow night on the Detox Diva calls. So go to www.iroseoils.com and register, and I'll keep you on the loop on what's coming up. I will share the replays of this as well as any other trainings that I do, and then you'll also get first to know notification when I have a new speaker announcement that'll be coming on my platform to help me teach and coach on this for the month of August. So thank you all for attending today's session. I so look forward to seeing you when I do the next one. Probably, tomorrow's Thursday, Diva Call. I can probably get one in tomorrow and Friday, and then I typically take weekends kind of low key. Sundays I don't work, but if you have any further questions or need support, please don't hesitate to reach out, and let's get you started on this oil. So have a great day. I appreciate you all, and bye-bye.